What is going on, MMA world and full-time family? Stephen A. Smith is responding to Conor McGregor's apology request for his Cowboy Cerrone criticism. We're going to cover that, of course, because there's not only did I want to cover this, but there's one thing also that I thought about since I made the last video of Stephen A. Smith responding to Joe Rogan, and it is a lot of people are criticizing Stephen A. Smith right now for saying that Cowboy Cerrone quit. And the reason that they're criticizing him is not just because Cowboy went in there and quit. It's because Cowboy supposedly had a broken orbital and a broken nose, right? I wonder how many of you are the same people that were criticizing Tyron Woodley for his boring fight when he had a torn labrum. I wonder how many of you are the exact same people. Well, where was all this? How could you say Tyron Woodley quit? He had a torn labrum. How could you say Tyron Woodley's a boring fighter? Have you ever been in there with a torn labrum? I didn't see half of the outcry. And you can get into your reasons for that. I mean, honestly, it's got nothing to do with racism in my mind. I just think the fan base is predominantly white, and so that's where the natural biases are. But either way, to me, it's the same thing. You can get mad at Stephen A. Smith for saying Cowboy quit. It's just, you should get mad at yourself if you said Tyron Woodley was boring when he had a torn labrum, because that's the same situation. Now, with that being said, let's get into Stephen A. Smith's response to Conor McGregor now. If you recall, Conor McGregor reached out and he said Stephen A. Smith's call was actually A+. He didn't get to show enough, so he was actually co-signing with Stephen A. Smith. But to clarify for Stephen A. Smith, Conor was letting him know the reason people are taking issue with what you said is because you questioned Cowboy's fighting spirit, essentially. You said that he quit, and he had a broken nose and a broken orbital bone. So how can you on the outside say someone quit when they had these injuries? Which is my point about Tyron Woodley. How can anybody say he quit or was having a boring fight if he had a torn labrum? So with that being said, Stephen A. Smith has responded. He said, "Sir, much respect to the great Conor McGregor. My recollection on what I said is the way it looked. Cowboy Cerrone is a perennial top 10 fighter. Much respect to him for the lengthy career he has had. Wishing him nothing but the best, but I do not think it's unfair to say that more than 40 seconds was expected from as tough of a son of a bitch as he is. Conor McGregor, nor do I think it's wrong to assume that there's no way that 40-second fight would take place with you versus Khabib or Masvidal. We expected more than what we got. Props to you for that. But to know how tough Cowboy is, lots of fans like myself expected more, and I don't think Joe Rogan is right to question my knowledge about a fight just because I wasn't satisfied with what I saw. I said what I said and I meant it. It's possible to do that and still have tremendous respect for you, Conor McGregor, along with Joe Rogan. Both of you are fantastic at the UFC, and I would enjoy it nearly as much without the both of you. I wish you both prosperity in the future, but we clearly disagree about Cowboys' performance on January 18th. And you honestly have to respect Stephen A. Smith for holding it down and not cowering to the pressure of all of these fans and people who are emotional right now about this whole situation. Stephen A. Smith has the whole time held it down and said, listen, this is my opinion. I've never once said I was a professional. I'm telling you what I saw. I get paid to tell you what I saw. I get paid to cover multiple sports, not just one. I've never claimed to be an MMA aficionado. And I'm telling you what I saw. Stephen A. Smith is the lead sports anchor for ESPN, and they are the worldwide leader, which therefore makes Stephen A. Smith essentially the biggest sports commentator in the world. He's the biggest personality on the worldwide leader. So anytime he's covering our sport, it's doing it a favor as far as taking it to the next level. A lot of people don't care about that aspect. Okay, well then care about this. The same people that are saying Stephen A. Smith is wrong for questioning Cowboy are the same people that were questioning Tyron Woodley when he had a torn labrum. So if you haven't seen the hypocrisy and all of that yet, go ahead and let me know what you think in the comments, because with that being said, it is what it is. About to get ready for work. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments below. I'm out.